Welcome back, everyone. What a great morning we have had so far at this conference. Let's dive back into it with Sekur Private Data. It trades on the OTCQX under the symbol SWISF and on the CSE under the symbol SKUR. And it's a cybersecurity and internet privacy provider of Swiss-hosted solutions for secure communications and secure data management. Please welcome its CEO and founder, Alain Ghiai. Welcome, Alain.
Thank you, Jane. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for having me. So yes, Sekur Private Data, which used to be Globex Data, we changed our company name back in April, is a provider of secure and private communications based out of Switzerland with our own infrastructure and no third-party hosting. We have a suite of products. I think the best way is to run our 1-minute commercial, which runs also on our website, and then I'll tell you more about the company itself. So let's go to the video.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR is 100% private and does not collect or sell any of your personal data. SKUR's Helix technology connects you securely to our Swiss servers without the need of a VPN, guaranteeing privacy and security for all your communications. SKUR Messenger doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. Chat by Invites allows you to chat privately and securely with anyone outside of your secure network without the need for others to download SKUR. SKUR Send offers you a private and secure way to email anyone outside of SKUR. You won't find this level of privacy or security on any other email or instant messaging application. Visit sekur.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Thank you. That was great. So hope everybody enjoyed it. I won't read the full page disclaimer, but I'd like to mention that any talks about projection or future earnings are all basically projections and should not be construed as investment advice. Anybody can go later and read our disclaimer. So what is Sekur? Sekur essentially, as I mentioned, is a privacy communications platform. We are basically based in Canada. We are a Canadian pure IPO company, went public in July 2019 and traded on the OTC in October 2019. We operate out of Toronto, Vancouver. Our sister company is in Geneva, which is the company that set up all the technology and also where the servers are. And we have a subsidiary in the US with a virtual office in New York. We also have partnerships in Mexico and Sri Lanka. We have set up in Mexico City because we do have America Móvil, the largest telecom operator in the Latin American continent, as a partner. So we have a couple of people there running the whole Latin American business. What do we do? Well, we protect your data and communication, whether you're a consumer, a business, or a government. Essentially, what we have is a product called Secure Mail. We have Secure Messenger, and then we have a Secure Combo. The Mail has special privacy tools where you can email a non-secure user, and they can basically read the email by clicking on a link when you email them. You can also do a lot of password protection, expiration, and so forth. And the best part is that the recipient can also reply using that secure reply button without having to buy our product. So it's really good in a way that they don't need to create an account or anything like that. This is great for personal use or businesses. I mean, you want to send like a banking info, you want to send your passport copy, anything that has any kind of data that's valuable, whether personal information or business, you want to use Secure Send, Secure Reply. And then Messenger, it's similar to any kind of messaging application. We also don't ask for your phone number, so there's less hacking capability because no one knows you're using it. And you can also invite anyone via text or email to chat with you. So we have a thing about 60 plus countries where you can text someone to chat with you. They click on a link that's provided in the SMS, and then you're both kind of in our Swiss environment. You can chat back and forth. And the secure messenger has also some self-destruct features and things like that to eliminate complete trace of messages. We have an enterprise version called Sekur Pro. The full length of it is being launched in Q2. Among that is archiving. So if you're a financial company and you need to archive all the communications for FINRA, for example, you can do that with Secure Messenger. And at the same time, on a device level, you can eliminate all trace. So if your phone is hacked or what have you, there won't be a trace. The products cost about $10 for the combo, $15 for the business versions, because the email is a little bit more because you can host your domain, and the messenger has these enterprise features. We also are launching a VPN at the end of Q1. That's very anticipated out of Switzerland. And then we have also our Secure Voice, which is our voice encrypted technology that we're launching at the end of Q2 as well. And then we have a couple other products in the works as well. So all of these essentially use our own infrastructure in Switzerland. So we're not hosted with third party. So essentially, that's what I was mentioning. Basically, we have no Cloud Act that we need to comply. The Cloud Act is a regulation that says that if you're using a US infrastructure, whether it's hosting from third party, Amazon or whoever, and even if you're in a country like Switzerland, you have to obey by US privacy laws. So there's different reasons why you wouldn't want that. You don't want to have a subpoena without your knowledge. A company could be sued for something libelous, things like that. So there's legal reasons why you want to have that extra privacy. We also don't data mine you. That's why we charge you a monthly fee. We guarantee that nothing is data mined. Your emails won't be sold or what have you. So that's a big plus for the consumer and businesses. The market of privacy is big. There's the market for hacking is big. There's about 100 billion connections producing data by next couple of years. So 100 billion connections, each connection is prone to a potential data leak, a hack, etc. And according to studies, all of the cyber hacks start with a phishing email, 91% of them. What happens is hackers will hack you, they'll check your email, they'll read your communications, even your messenger, especially now we've read a couple of months ago, WhatsApp had 500 million users' data that was sold on the dark web. So there's a lot of issues when using these kind of free or even paid tool that data mine you because the security is just not there. There's a bunch of statistics. Obviously, the market is big, the threat is big, and there's a solution here and there. We provide, we would say, one of the best solutions out there when it comes to privacy. Again, privacy matters. Companies are looking at smaller companies like ours, very specific companies that provide a high grade of privacy and security, as opposed to going to the big tech cloud. So the market is quite big because there's more and more individuals and businesses looking for an alternative like ours or a couple others that exist out there. We have a couple of encryption technology, Helix being one of them. Helix technology uses existing encryption for transferring data, and then we also wrap it around with our own encryption. But the concept is when you communicate using Secure, whether you are a user of Secure or not, because again, you can communicate with a non-secure user, you essentially connect to our cloud in Switzerland with our own machine. There's technologies out there like PGP and other technology. Interestingly enough, yesterday, one of my shareholders sent me something about a company called LogMeIn. I think it has a different name now. It's a huge company. And they got hacked because the traditional technology of encryption is a user sends an encryption key to another user to decrypt it. And then that transfer is done over the internet. And that company got massive hack because people intercepted that key. It's like going to the post office, sending a key in a regular mail, as opposed to, let's say, a very protected cargo. If you send regular mail, anybody can open the envelope and maybe reseal it without your knowledge. So these other technologies are dated. The hackers know how to get it. The minute you send an encryption back and forth over the net, you're putting yourself and the recipient at risk of being hacked. And that happens all the time. Yesterday, huge hack with those PGP encryption keys. So this happens every day. We actually eliminate that risk because we never send anything over the net. You simply connect to our server environment in Switzerland. So the business verticals, there's many. Obviously, financial, telecom operators. We have a deal with América Móvil. We signed a deal in South Asia pre-COVID with Axiata Dialog, the largest South Asian telecom. COVID has brought a lot of damage to the emerging market. And I think now they're getting back on track. So we're going to revive that contract. And we're talking to also a couple others. But América Móvil, if anybody went to Mexico and you see Telmex or Telcel, that's our partner. And they're now selling our messenger service. So they really like it. We did a full integration. So if you're a client of Telcel, you simply add the service and you're billed through Telcel. It's instant. There's no friction. And we're starting now to see licenses growing. So we're very happy with that. Military, government, healthcare, biotech, oil and gas, just any industry that needs to protect their data essentially or their communication would be a good client for us. And there's more and more people using messaging application. You have the top three that we all know. You got WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal and all that. They all have the same issues. You have to divulge your phone number. You have third-party security. You have open source and whatnot. And that's an issue. So we are competing with those guys. And so far, the feedback is really good. Here's a little quick roadmap of what we're planning to do. In Q1, we are doing our VPN, as I mentioned. We are also expanding on our business solution with users management, so we can sell to enterprises. We have our clients in Latin America that are looking for that, for big companies to manage several hundred users at a time. So we're adding feature. We are also redoing our websites, both the secure product side and the corporate side. We're also going by Q2, have a full enterprise solution with more feature for the messenger. And also we are planning to launch our encrypted call system by the end of June. Then we have a few other things happening. We're also launching a B2B platform that we integrate with Ingram Micro. Ingram Micro is the largest software and hardware distributor in the world. And they have a partner platform with a company called Partner Stack out of Toronto. And we're integrating so that anybody can sign up on our website and become a referral or a reseller partner. And we also benefit from Ingram Micro and their 150,000 plus IT partners to find our product on that marketplace potentially, and then resell the product. So we're really, first half, we're going to focus on completing the extra solutions that we have in mind, expanding. We're also doing search engine optimization and AdWord and digital marketing. We're going to start now. Hopefully by June, we'll have a client acquisition cost that's acceptable to us. We believe we can do it. And then the second half is going to be more about B2B and reseller platform and so forth. The unique proposition, I think I mentioned a few, on platform, no third-party hardware or hosting solution, no third-party service providers, Swiss hosted, proprietary technology, and of course, obviously no data mining and obeying by the Swiss data privacy laws. That's it for that. We're traded on the OTCQX. under SWISF, as Anna mentioned, and in Canada under SKUR. And we have about 117 million shares outstanding. And we have about $3 million in the bank. We announced in December our plan to reduce our expenses by 50% because we did spend a lot in the last couple of years to get the branding and products going. We have today a little over 4,000 fully paid direct users and about 1,000 B2B users. So we're growing quite nicely compared to what it was a year ago, and we plan to continue. So that said, I'm open to questions.
Great job, Alain. We do have some questions for you. A lot of them are centered around subscribers. So let's start with that. What are your plans to grow subscribers in the coming year?
Well, it's an interesting question. It's funny enough, I had 2 extra slides, really with a nice graph demonstrating subscriber growth. But because we filed an F1 registration, we're under what they call a waiting period. What I can tell you is the numbers we have today. We are planning to, so let me tell you this. We have direct users which pay us about $8.50 a month, the ARPU. That's average revenue per user. It's a typical metrics telecoms and recurring revenue people use. So the ARPU is $8.50. Once we get to 8,000 subscribers, we basically are on a break-even mode, operationally, kind of profitable. So what we did last year and the year before, we had huge media companies, influencers, push the solution to consumers. This year, we signed a deal with a company called Salem Media, and we were able to have an amazing deal on commercial airtime and on a couple of things. Anna actually is hosting the Secure Privacy segment, which is a 2-minute segment that airs twice a day on Salem as well. We're also on Newsmax and other things, but I think the 2-minute segment is what people really like, and also our commercial. So I think from Salem, we're going to get at least over 1,000 users. And we want to add an extra 4,000 users with our digital campaign. So we are hoping, again, I can't mention that this is what we guarantee to project because I can't now do that anymore. I had to take the slides out. But the plan to grow is the following. We just hired a search engine optimization agency, which is going to do a lot more than just that. We want to do Google ads, tons of digital marketing, essentially. This product lines well with, I'm going to say, more privacy-oriented audience or more conservative audience. There's also in the US a political divide, I'm sure we all know, where you have the big tech camp and the non-big tech camp. So we want to basically monetize that situation and go to the low-hanging fruit to start, and then eventually to everyone. So we're going to target specific industry, specific type of interest, mostly privacy, etc. And we believe that if we get our client acquisition cost to $50 per user or below, we're in an extremely advantageous position. Last year, and this is something you can check on our corporate site, SekurPrivateData.com, FRC Research has a research report on us. We are going definitely down on our CAC. We want to lower it to 50, anything $100 and below. We're going to keep pushing. We have the money. We have a budget that we allocated this year, which is less than our cash that we have. So we definitely have enough money for the whole year without raising money. That's another concern. So I'm hoping that we can get to at least double what we have today. And the way we're going to do it is literally digital advertising and some B2B partners coming in Q2, Q3, Q4. When you go from 400 people to 4,000, it's a very long road. When you have over 4,000 direct users to get to 8, it's a much easier road. So hopefully that can explain what a slide would have explained easy, but I can't put that slide anymore.
And so Shane Davis wants to know, what is your cost to acquire a subscriber and what is the retention rate?
Yeah, that's the CAC, the client acquisition cost. So last year it was crazy. It was close to 1,000. Obviously, it's ridiculous. Today with Salem, we see that it's definitely under 50, which is great, but it's not scalable with Salem, right? Because they have X amount of audience. So we don't know exactly what it is. We can guesstimate that today roughly could be 100. We definitely are going to go lower. In the next 60 days, we will have much better data behind us, but it's no longer 1,000. Obviously, right now, I can tell you it's roughly about 50, I think, but it's not scalable to the point that we want. The retention is really good. If you have a good customer, the churn rate is about 5.7% or something like that, single digit, which is good. And as we get to be SMB, small, medium businesses, the retention will be higher, because remember, right now we're targeting just consumers out there that are kind of fleeting. Sometimes the credit card doesn't work after a while, or they don't want it. So it's an educational process. But we definitely feel that we will get at least 100 or lower, and we can allocate enough money to buy at least 5,000 users. And once you get 10,000 plus users direct, it's a lot easier to get another. For a small business, when they buy the solution, typically they have a few users. So even if you spend $70, $100 to acquire an SMB, you're going to get 4 licenses out of that. So the CAC, the client acquisition cost, let's say it's between 50 to $100, I believe right now, but it's not scalable enough. That's why we're going to do the digital marketing to scale it. But at the beginning, it could cost 200. Then it's going to go lower to 100. We've had a lot of discussion. Our consultants believe they can go well under 100. So we're going to go between 50 to $70. And the lifetime value, probably somebody is going to ask that. That's the LTV, which is also, it was on that slide I had. The lifetime value is $150 today. So if you spend 50 to $70, you're making at least 100% return on your investment. And that LTV is going to go up as we add new products. For example, the VPN is very anticipated. And the only reason why we launched it is because we used to get so many requests on our support page that, hey, when are you launching a VPN? The one good thing about VPN is that it's so easy to use. When a customer uses it, they click, they kind of forget about it. So the stickiness is a lot bigger than, let's say, potentially the email. Even though the email is a business, it's sticky, right? I mean, Anna, if you're going to migrate your business to us, you're not going to migrate it back to, Gmail again or GoDaddy or whatever.
Rick Gannon has a question concerning who are your customers? Are you more enterprise or corporate based, or do you also market to consumers?
Our biggest segment is consumer. That's why it's so hard. If you can market and break your teeth with consumers, you can easily do SMBs. So the biggest tranche right now is consumers. And then we have small, medium businesses in the mix, but we haven't targeted specifically small businesses. So the first half, we're going to push with consumers. And if there's SMBs in the mix, that's great. The second half, we're going to do small, medium businesses and also we're going to have enterprise. So in Latin America, it's mostly enterprise because we have the telecom there that deals with enterprise. The average consumer is not going to spend $5, $10 on a product like ours unless they're more on the wealthy end of it, high net worth and all that. So it's more enterprise. In North America, let's say in the US, it would be small, medium businesses. Those are great targets because they don't have the big budgets of the big enterprise, and they can't afford to have a loss of data, and they don't have a lot of users to migrate. If you're dealing with Johnson & Johnson, they have tens of thousands of employees, so it's going to be very hard for them to migrate to us. On the messenger part, though, we are seeing more and more of these senior level executives that are taking the messenger. Another product we're launching later this year is an email. Essentially, if you're a big company and you can't migrate everybody from your Microsoft Outlook to us, but you have maybe 200 senior people, you'll be able to have those 200 people use secure email with their existing domain, which is very hard to do. It's a rerouting, it's an email routing system, and we'll charge a premium for that. So nobody will know that they're using secure because it'll be their domain name, and they'll have the same domain name as the other 50,000 people. Because if you migrate from one provider to another, typically you have to leave your ISP and come to us. That's why it's very hard for enterprise. I mean, we can't compete against Microsoft. So in the messenger part, definitely we have a chance. And in the small, medium businesses, like from, I guess, 1 person to 50 people, we have a lot of chances. So that's the market we're going to tackle more the second half. But we're never going to forget about the consumer. There's about 70 million people out there that voted conservative, anti-big tech and whatnot. So that's a good target to start with. There's plenty in that market.
Well, that leads to my next question from Bob M. Who is your closest competitor and why are you better?
A lot of people talk about Proton Mail. We know them really well. Proton is hosted in Switzerland, but they also use Amazon Web Service. They don't have the features like Secure Send, Secure Reply. Their VPN is Amazon hosted, and they don't have a messenger. They also charge you $8 for 5 gig. We charge you $7 a month for 100 gigabyte. So I would say we are better than them. In terms of the business, we hear a lot of feedback that people are leaving. I mean, 20% of our customers come from Proton. So that should tell you something. So, you know, that's a company that had a great publicity. They also got hacked twice. In a major way. So we are better because we have better feature. We offer you more for your money. And we definitely don't use any third-party hosting like AWS. In the messenger part, I'm going to say there's no competition. There's one company called Trema in Switzerland. I'm from Switzerland too, so I know them really well. It's not bad, but they don't have the system where you can chat with someone that doesn't have Secure or Trema in their case. They also went completely open source now. So there's little, if any, competition in the messenger part, because you may have a competitor that does one thing, not the other. Definitely Signal, WhatsApp, and Telegram are no competition to us. You can't compare. These are big tech companies, and you have to give your phone number away. They have been hacked a lot of time, documented in the press all over. So they're not competition. Trema would be a competition, but they're very focused in their own region, and they also don't have the features that we offer. And then in the email, I think you're looking at these smaller players, Tutanota, Proton Mail, others. But the problem is the same. They don't have those privacy features that we offer, the Secure Send. They don't give you enough storage. And they use, most of them, they use outside hosting cloud companies because it's very expensive to have your own, obviously.
Right. Aaron H. wants you to talk about your overhead. Are you equipped currently for strong growth? And do you need to dramatically increase staff based on the increased subscribers?
No, that's a good question. We spent close to $1 million Canadian last year on infrastructure and server. We're shipping $250,000 of server in March in Switzerland. We are equipped. So we have roughly about 15 people in the company between developers and support. We just add support persons, and we have our own people for support. So we don't use a third party. In terms of the machine and infrastructure, the software is fully scalable. Excuse me. Right now, and when we launch the VPN, we can probably have 20,000 people on the system, and then we spend another, whatever, 150 grand in servers to get another 20, 30,000 people at least. The messenger, we're equipped to get 1 million people on the system. And I think the email, we can get at least like 100,000 people. And it's not an issue. If we get 100,000 people, which is a great problem to have because we're going to make 700,000 a month in revenue just on the email, we just buy another 200 grand of machine to get another 100,000. So the margins are pretty big, right? The margins are a bit lower on the email because we offer you 100 gig of storage. But there is a cost. That's why we never go, you get 1 terabyte for $5. You can't do that unless you're really mining your data, because these things cost money. So we're fully scalable. There's no issue. The staff we would need would be kind of customer support. So we're ready. And we do have the cash, by the way, at the very least this entire year. We have the cash to run the company without having to raise money to bring our business plan to fruition. We announced it in December. I think in US dollar, there was $2.25 million that we were going to spend, and we had $3 million in the bank, plus all the revenues we're doing this year, and we have no debt, no convertible, no equity, nothing like that. So there's no debt instrument that's triggered in the company. So I can't comment about the stock, but I think if you can put 2 and 2 together, if you know how much cash we have per share, and you can see the price of the share, you have to make your own conclusion.
Right. Last question from our audience. Kyle Bradley wants you to talk about the different sources of revenue. Is your platform sold as a suite, or can they be purchased separately?
That's a really good question. I like these questions about the product because it doesn't get me in trouble, because I can talk about the product all day long now. So if you go to sekur.com, sekur.com, you can buy the product individually. So you can buy the messenger or the email or the combo. You have consumer and business. The business one, the difference is that you can migrate your domain. That's why the email is more. And then the messenger, you can archive as well. And I think in a couple of months, you'll be able to have all these bells and whistles for users management. So it's a little bit more money. Once we launch the VPN, it'll be a separate thing too. What we're going to do probably by the end of Q2 is a SKUR Pro, which is a suite, but you'll be able to have a la carte. So if you're a business, you say, I want this, this, and that only. So we have a combo right now or individual. We have another solution called SKUR Suite. We don't talk about it too much because we put that a bit on the back burner right now. That was our first product. Back then it was called Digital Safe. It's a password manager, email, and kind of like a file share and backup. So it's a combo of a few things. And that one is sold on its own at sekursuite.com. It's $50 US per month. And that's why we're not pushing that right now. We're also going to do some more development on it next year. But people are on it, people find it. But it's not a product for the masses, right? Because if you sell an email for $7 a month or $70 a year, it's a lot more affordable than $50 a month. So yeah, go to sekur.com. And if I may, can I give a promo code so people can have a discount? Use promo code privacy and you get 15% off. So, and if we buy a yearly account, you get 2 months off essentially. So that's, if you do that and the promo code, that's 32% discount.
Wonderful. Well, this is fascinating stuff you have here, and we're so glad you came on today, and we would love for you to come on again in the future with some more updates. Thank you so much, Alain.
Thank you. One very last thing. I should mention that management owns 30% of the company. We're very active in it, and we have a lot of skin in the game. So that's also something that can give somebody some confidence.
That's very important. All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time and presentation.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
All right, everyone. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our next presenter.